Baba said, just wait for a while, I will send you. But still I insisted, and Baba then allowed me to go. But at that time, when Baba embraced him, Baba had tears in his eyes. That is what he told. And he left Baba. He left Baba and he got a job in the Anglo-Persian Oil Company somewhere. So, young boy after all, he had a friend in Karachi. That Karachi fellow was sending him newspapers from India. He was sending Persian newspapers to him. And on that newspaper was scribbling some poetry or some hafiz or something like that. One day this Persian post office censoring, because those relations with the Anglo-Persian Oil Company were not good with the Persian government. So the postal people suspected something, that these people are transferring some code messages. He was caught and put into prison without trial or without anything. They kept him for some time in prison and they did not find anything. So they allowed him, but asked him to go to his own place and not to leave that place. That's why he was not coming to me. That was the reason. This story is very important because he left Baba against Baba's wishes. He suffered also. And that story did not come into that noise. Then he comes to Bandar Abbas, he stays with me. He was still now, as my manager, I kept him there. When I left Persia also, I left everything to him also. But poor fellow never succeeded in business at any time.
Right, so from the point where he told you that he'd left Baba and gone back to Tehran or Persia.
Not Tehran, Bandar.
Yeah. And he told you that Baba had wept when he left.
Baba had tears in his eyes.
Yeah.
That he told me. And I feel that he should not have left at that time Baba. And had he remained with Baba, he would not have undergone this imprisonment and such ordeals that followed him.
Yeah, the thing actually we didn't get the bit about the codes on the. He'd been sending newspapers to a friend.
He has been sending Persian newspapers to India to a friend. That friend of his was sending Indian newspapers to him. And they were like young boys, they were writing some on the paper, newspaper itself, some poetry, something, some nonsense. He was writing. So one day the Persian postal authority suspected that these people are passing some code messages, because this fellow, Chota Baba or Abdullah Pakrawan, his name, he was employed by the British company, Anglo-Persian Oil Company, and in those days the relations with the oil company and the Persian government were greatly strained. Ultimately they took it away also. So they suspected that these people are just spies of the British and put this fellow into prison without any trial or anything. For some months they could not find anything against him. So they released him, and under condition that he should go back to his own place and stay there, not to leave that place. So that was the reason he was not coming to me in spite of my offering him good pay and coming to my office. But during the war, he was transferred from that government office to another government office at another port, Bushehr, where the steamers were not going. So he had to go by land route. So he had to come to Bandar Abbas first and then go. So I caught hold of him and promised him all assistance and kept him. In fact, I had also my friends. I said that when anything happens, don't worry, I am here to. So he stayed that way.
And he's still with you today?
Stay. But no, I have no business now there in Persia. But my office I gave him. But one thing, he never prospers in it. He's straightforward, honest man, in every respect, a gentleman. But in business, he is a total failure. He tried his way. He purchased a house and he earned some money. And then he lost so heavily that he has to sell the house, and now he's serving somebody. Again, they formed some company with some friends for supplying some rigs and drills and such things. That oil company also could not find oil, and so according to his last letter, he said that again I am in the same way, but still we are doing some things. In short, the purpose is that he in the life, though he married twice, his first wife died, his second wife, he has 4 children, but still he is not settled. once when I came to return to Bombay at Baba's orders, maybe 47 or 48, he had a son, one son from his first wife. He was a nice young boy. He wanted to send him for his schooling to India. And he wrote to me. I arranged for everything. Of course, with Baba's permission. I told Baba that he said, yes, arranged. And also Baba asked me to write to him that he should bring the boy, see Baba once and then go. But as destiny would have it, he could not come. I had still had the feeling that if he had come and met Baba again, his at least his material condition would have changed.
Amazing. It's nice to hear the true story. What happened? Tell us about, you were saying you had a story about astrology.
Astrology. This, my purpose in telling you this story is this, that those who have conviction of Baba's godhood, see, they should not care for their horoscope or stars or anything. That is my personal incident I am relating you. In 1943 I came for a short holiday to Bombay. I had a good friend, business friend from Hong Kong. He was in Bombay at that time. He was also stranded because of the war. And we were very good friends. He had helped me, I had helped him. And he asked me that, Meherji, how are your conditions now? I said, well, now fairly good. We have no good business, is that. He tells me that, Meherji, this is war money, and war money rarely stays with persons. So be very careful about your money.
It's war money.
War money means we have earned during the war.
Yeah.
He had earned, I had earned. We have earned during the war, and war money rarely stays with the persons, he said. But then he said, have you a horoscope? I said, yes, I have a horoscope, but it's not with me. He said, it's a custom in India that when a child is born, their horoscope is always prepared. Incidentally, I come from an astrologer's family, though priest, but my great-grandfather was an astrologer. His son was an astrologer, his grandson was an astrologer. So my horoscope was there with my father. So he asked me to get my horoscope from my father. I also got it. And we went to his friend, who was a well-known astrologer in Bombay, old venerated man, and he was a Sanskrit scholar. Even the ministers used to consult him, and they were good friends. So he took me one Sunday to his house, and he saw just superficially my horoscope and said that I will tell you everything in detail next week. So again they were meeting every week. So next week again we went, and he told me that you are running into very bad stars very soon, and you are likely to lose not less than 50% or more perhaps. I said, what, I have no money to there, I got a goods everywhere which I am selling, buying, why should I lose so much? I said, well, the stars are like that, it's better you take whatever you have got, you take care of that immediately. So I also, like a fool, sent telegram to this same boy, Bakarwan, who was there in my office, that start selling. I had goods, plenty of goods, sugar, tea, textiles, spices, all over, spread over so many cities in Persia. So I sent a telegram that start selling all the goods irrespective, at current rates, irrespective of profit or loss. Baba was at that time in Lahore. We had just arrived in Bombay. So a telegram from Baba also came that I should go and see him. So I went with my wife. And then I met Baba at that time after 11 years. That is also another in between a story, a small story that I will tell you why I met after 11 years. I met after 11 years. Baba said, all right, now tell me what you did during all these 11 years. In his usual humorous way, he asked me. So I detailed everything, Baba, there were difficulties, this, that, and now everything is okay. And the astrologer told me this way, so I have sent a telegram. Baba took my ear and twisted it. So asked me, what do you take me to be? I said, God. Then who makes your stars? Who makes your destiny? Is it not in my hands? I can change anybody's star or anything in a split second if I want. He called Vishnu and dictated a telegram himself to Pakrawan Bandar Abbas, don't sell anything till Meherji returns. And he asked me to go and do as you have been doing always. And of course, this is not always the case, but in that particular transaction, I made 150,000 rupees profit. Instead of losing 50% or more, I made 150,000 rupees profit. the purpose is that Baba gives us profit and money. Here was he said that when you have surrendered to a perfect master, avatar particularly, is that your destiny is in any sense. Sometimes we have very good stars for earning. If he doesn't want for his own purpose, he will not make us earn that money. So my advice to all my friends, Baba friends, I mean Baba lovers, so-called lovers, I very rarely use the word lover, is that they should not be so superstitious about their palm mystery or their horoscopes or anything. If they leave everything to Baba, anything that happens is in our own interest. He is there to look after that, whether it is material or spiritual. And now that 11 years story. In 1935, 34 end December about, I and my wife were returning to Bombay, and we had some guests, some tourists, Parsi tourists, who had come to Iran. They were known to us. They were our guests, and we all left in a same steamer to Bombay. It was a slow-moving steamer stopping at every bloody port. So we reached Karachi, and as I was always at the port, I knew all the officers on the British India steamships. One of my friends comes, who was a purser on the ship. He said, Mayorji, if you want to reach Bombay 2 days earlier, I can get you a cabin in that fast boat which is just leaving and will be reaching direct to Bombay tomorrow. So if you, but I cannot take the whole crowd that you have brought with you. You and your wife, I can give you one cabin. I thought of going also, but then the thought came this, after all we are living in this world, so those people came with us, they were friends, and what would they think about us, that they left us and we went away. So we did not go. We reached Bombay after 3 days. And as usual, I inquired from Chandji's house about Baba, because Baba was all the time traveling. I was told that Baba left yesterday by boat to London.
To London?
Yes, it was 1932, 35, early 1934, 35. Purpose is that if Baba had given me the hint, that man from a blue sky comes to me and tells me to go 2 days earlier to Bombay. If I had taken that opportunity, I would have met Baba, but Maya prevented it.
So how long was it after that before you met Baba?
Then I met in 1943.
Wow. Another 5 years.
9 years almost.
God.
6 years.